Well, joining me now to talk about this historic day at the White House, Virginia Congresswoman Jen Kiggans. Congresswoman, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I have to tell you, there was something really moving watching President Trump surrounded by dozens of girls, young ladies, and taking a stand for what, quite frankly, is just common sense.
Yeah, it really is. This whole administration is filled with a return to common sense. And just being a part of it today and being in the room in the White House with so many other female athletes and other moms who had brought their daughters. And this is National Women and Girls Sports Day. So no better time to do this. This is something that we've been pushing for. I personally have worked on this issue in the Virginia Senate back in 22. So to see this come to fruition it's an amazing day. It's a great day to celebrate, and it's a long time coming.
You know, you mentioned it is indeed International Girls and Women's Sports Day, and there is a New York Times poll as well that is just out. It shows that only 18% of Americans believe transgender athletes, those who were male. Let's talk about that poll if you don't mind. Are you surprised by those numbers?
Yeah, I am not surprised by those numbers. It really should probably be closer to 90+%. I mean, this is, again, a common sense issue. Biological men should not play in women's sports. And even today, President Trump told some stories just about women who had been injured playing different sports and even talked about the Olympics. Riley Gaines was in the room. She's done so much advocacy work just for this issue. But again, a common sense issue. I'm a former female athlete, a runner. I am the mom to 2 daughters who participate in sports, and just wanting to protect women's sports, just the fellowship opportunities they offer, the scholarship opportunities, the camaraderie for women and girls. This is something that should be protected and acknowledged, and a common sense issue.
I was stunned. President Trump announced the number of athletes who'd actually been impacted, young girls who were denied awards or placement, over 3,000. Were you surprised the numbers were that high?
Yeah, very surprised. And even the number of women who didn't receive awards they were entitled to. I know we're all familiar with Riley Gaines, who was swimming, and that she lost out on that championship award. But it is shocking, and I think you'll see a return, again, back to some normalcy, back to just promoting women and women who are elite athletes in these sports. And this is the direction that, like you said, like over 80% of the country agrees with us on this issue. It's a winning issue. It's been a winning issue for Republicans. We've passed bills a couple of times, the United States House, and different states have passed these bills too on the state level. So the fact that it took President Trump to come into the White House and have an executive order put in place, we all can be more excited about this. Again, just return to something that really should never have been an issue. But here we are, and we're excited that we're finally back to common sense.
You know, moving on to another issue, the border, and over the weekend we have seen thousands of people taking to the streets of American cities. Many of them are waving the Mexican flag. They're burning the American flag. Congresswoman, help me understand this. I thought they hated their old country, which is why they came here. So why are they burning our flag?
Yeah, well, they have the freedom to do that here in America, but I think the real issue is that the border was wide open. I had been there to Texas and Arizona, seeing just our Border Patrol struggling, seeing the night and day change from when President Trump came in and declared it a state of emergency, and what that looks like now. I've seen the before and after pictures and listened to, we had the Defense Secretary down there, we had Secretary Homan down there. I mean, it's amazing to see what's been happening. We've sent the Marines down there. We've closed that border. We've reinstated Remain in Mexico. We have let Border Patrol know that we are sending reinforcement. We've sent the Marines, and that if you're in this country illegally, and especially if you've committed a violent crime, you will be sent home. And this was the right message. Americans wanted this to happen. We campaigned off this last November. I think that was a Republican victory. We saw Republican victories because of this issue. So again, just a return to common sense. Close our border, keep our border, so that we are keeping people who want to do this country and our families harm from entering.
And Congresswoman, one last question. I know it's been a big issue in a lot of the border states there in the Commonwealth. Have you guys been seeing that struggle as well with the illegals?
Yeah, I mean, every state is a border state. I represent Virginia, but I think no matter what state you're in, just the number of fentanyl deaths, the rise in in cartel activity. Even in Virginia, we have a lot of military bases, so we're concerned for things like terrorist activity, and we know that we have let people on the terrorist watch list in this country. It affects every single one of our states. I'm concerned about the bases in Virginia. Again, a lot of military, so we want to make sure that we're caring about security issues. And I'm a mom to 4 children. I care about just my family being safe and all the families in my district and in the Commonwealth. So I know that closing the border is step number one. And thank goodness President Trump, again, just a return to common sense. We've done that. There's still some work to do, but I'm thankful for the direction we're going.
All right. Well, Congresswoman Jen Kiggans from Virginia, thank you very much for being on Newsmax tonight.
Thanks for having me.